Mitchell is throwing that ball over the top to a lob to the guy who had the most dunks in the league last season in Gobert. That time the Blazers show a zone look, and Mike Conley just slithers right through the top of it. Easy split.
Blazers early 10-4 advantage. Conley looking for a teammate, step back jumper. Another bucket for Conley.
That's part of the big reason Robert Covington is here, to defend at a high level. He's got to do his job. Mike Conley.
Just stating facts here.
But no, it took time to get over that. We ain't trying to hear about that again.
I won't bring up the history, no more. The three is good by Conley.
When you're down big right after a missed basket, there's no extra energy that comes after you make a shot, and you really got to dig deep. And that's going to be the challenge for the Blazers.
Back to Bogdanovich, we were saying one of the most underrated number threes as far as third options in the league. Gobert able to sneak past Nurkic, gets the bucket and the foul.
What it is that happened, where the breakdown was, and then you got to attack that stuff. It's really got to become a priority as Mike Conley knocks down a three.
Clarkson flips it to Gobert. Conley in the corner. He'll size up a three. He makes the Blazers pay.
Great defense there by Royce O'Neal. Stayed straight up, vertical on that drive.
Conley. Oh, the big feed. And Rudy, 2 for 2. Conley with a bullet pass. Made a stop with Golden State, then traded midseason to Minnesota. Conley, no look. Beautifully done off the glass. Conley, cutter, bogey, stop, pop, Jay, good. Nice shot. Bogdanovich first two.
He went 0 for 3 against Portland.
Yeah, just 8 minutes as Conley buries the three. Shot clock off, 7 to shoot. Conley out front, wants a screen, got it. Pick and roll, Clarkson pushes and scores. That's beautiful stuff right there, T.
It is, and it's taking advantage, like I just said. Karl-Anthony Towns would have been in the paint to help.
O'Neal has been a vacuum tonight. How about 9 boards for Royce O'Neal? Conley breaks free, push shot, count it.
A great move by Mike Conley.
Stop and go drive. Conley fouled on the shot. Gonna count it? Yes, they will. Nice drive by Mountain Mike. Towns 9 shots, 3 makes. Conley out behind the three-point line. He'll pump it up nearly straight away. Just a little bit off the angle right.
Along with some really good defense and taking care of the ball, going to put the Jazz back in this one.
Jazz have the ball to start the quarter. On a drive, bucket, Conley.
But he went off 2 feet and just wasn't able to elevate high enough.
Here's Beasley, ball knocked away by Ingles. A critical bucket here late. 1:30 left. Conley inside to Rudy. He'll finish. Gobert 16.
Moves real hard without it. He's got a great setup guy, Mike Conley.
And Conley using that screen from Rudy Gobert, just wheels around it, pulls up for that mid-range jump. And Mike, it's just such a different dimension for this Thunder offense, having a pop 5 who can step out and make a 3. And we know Mike Conley can make that mid-range jump.
Continues to make it difficult on Mitchell.
It is fun watching him play defense on a guy like Donovan Mitchell, who is working so hard for his shot. A little work inside there from SGA.
And hand down, man down. That time Mitchell closed out slowly on Dort. Dort was able to knock down his second 3.
Dort's made a couple of 3s. This time wants to drive and dribbling it off of his foot. Bogdanovich forced that turnover. Conley sets it up, and O'Neal in transition will lay it up and in.
Hami, he sold it. Conley, he sold the foul as well too. That's a big part of getting the charge.
Clarkson catches, shoots, and hits the 3.
You know, you're right, man. He's a good scorer. Doesn't need plays ran for him. You know, he's good at just creating himself. Nice little fast break.
Conley and Diallo. Conley below the elbow and created just enough space. It was the hot shooting of Oklahoma City, the 3-point shot that gave the Thunder the lead early, and was able to maintain it through the course of the half, and now we are tied thanks to that alley-oop between Conley and Gobert.
Nice exchange with the basketball out front to create that open shot.
Conley again uses the screen and is still feeling it again from the outside. Mike Conley already with 11 points. And Ladone had it knocked away from behind. 2-on-1 for the Jazz. Conley gives it right back where it came from, and Pokashevsky's going to foul Bogdanovich. He said that the return to the regular season just could not come fast enough. As he continues to try to prove his worth, and Mike Conley continues to show why he's been in the league for over 14 years. And just a little bit short. Under a minute to go here in the first half. O'Neal had some space and buries that three.
Those are the types of things that Lou is able to do, while others, maybe like George Hill, are a little bit more vocal.
He certainly spoke loudly as Mike Conley. Hill good at the line. Bogdanovich makes it 2 in a row.
They were down 3 points at halftime, and you're up 3 at the end of the third quarter.
Conley kept it long enough, and following the play there is Rudy Gobert. Back-to-back buckets. Conley lost it. Oh, and it looked like Diallo might have tipped that up and in. Clarkson eyes the three. Gobert comes up to set that screen for Conley. They trying to run their action. Gobert will scoop it up and in.
That's right. We send it back out to Utah.
A little pizza pie. Nice pass out. Clarkson. 3-ball. Got it.
New Year's theme.
How about that? The family watching Jazz basketball with a slice of pie. A little pizza pie. Nice pass out. Clarkson. 3-ball. Got it. Conley rips it.
A true veteran and leader. I think he's going to defer to Devin Booker, and Devin Booker is going to accept that challenge and also show Chris Paul the respect that he's earned also.
All right, the American Express halftime report.
When you know you're on the team with Chris Paul, you have to be accountable, you have to play defense, and you have to get to your spots, and that's the thing.
Blocks him out and grabs a rebound. One big against the other. Ayton, by the way, is 1 of 7. Right back at you, Mike Conley.
Oh, he was. And I think that's just a sample of what we're going to get from Mike.
Oh! You got to be lucky sometimes.
And probably didn't know what to expect, because when he got drafted, he was drafted by Philadelphia, where his mom works,
right,
the 76ers, and was all excited and staying back home, and then he gets traded to Phoenix. And
had that Philadelphia hat on for a cup of coffee as Conley hits the leaner.
They play to a tie, 30-30 in the third. Donovan again buries it. Corner three. Is that right? A three-point bucket, I believe, was the discussion on the floor. All right, they changed it. Ball comes loose. Shot clock down to 10. 2:07 to play. Conley leans in and rattles in a three. Jazz still fighting back. T down 5.
Kawhi can't get that wide open, especially early in the game when your focus has to be on getting stops.
Try to go inside to get Bogey going. That's how you do it. An early bucket, a little 10-foot floater.
They do. We've seen some beautiful passing from the Jazz in the past, and it gets a lot of guys involved. That was a nice move, nice penetration.
It was crowded last night, Thurl, against Phoenix. It's crowded so far in this opening quarter for the Jazz. Trying to get some room for the offense. Conley, little step back.
Being conscious of getting on the scoreboard is a big deal for the Jazz.
Conley, I love to hear the net. You can hear it more with less fans in the stands. Iron Joe, right place, right time. Trots into front court behind the Gobert screen. Slides it out to Conley. He's got the hot hand. Why not? Feed him. 9 now for Mountain Mike. So the Jazz D forces a turnover. Conley feeling it, T, right now. Why not? 3 more.
I talked about George Niang. He's going to be responsible this season for helping guys like Jordan Clarkson. Oh, my goodness, Bowler.
Hey, T, when you're on, you're on.
When they go aggressive to the basket, if the driver like Bogey here doesn't have a shot, then that ball comes out, moves around, and you find a Mike Conley for 3.
Is that the blender?
That's the blender right there,
There you
Bowler.
go. Conley backs it out. Playing a catch with Bogdanovich. Rudy He was spinning to the rim, but Mike took the shot. Paul George, really a rough go in SLC tonight. He's 2 of 13. O'Neal wide open. Yes, the Jazz knock home back-to-back three-point buckets. 14 for Leonard, 9 rebounds and 5 assists. How about that? What? 11 points for Mitchell. Nice pass. Conley picking apart the Clippers with a nice feed to Favors. Donovan to his left hand. Passes out to Conley. Back out. Royce O'Neal rotates in. Again, the blender pumps a shot out to Conley. Oh, my, what a night. One-on-one with Joe Ingles. They have a little history, don't they, T?
Yes, they
As
do.
Joe chases after, and then he throws it away.
There's that defense again.
Here's Mike Conley. Ingles around Gobert. Again, the floater. Once, twice, and 3 times. Just that lazy high floater scores it.
Another guy, especially coming off the bench, to give the Jazz a lift.
Last night, 5 points against Phoenix. Tonight, Joe with 11. Rudy on the rim and 1. And T, sometimes you just have to go play the game. You can't overthink it. Favors with the soft touch off the angle. And Faves has played big tonight on this New Year's night game in Salt Lake. Donovan, he scored the last 12 points last night against Phoenix. Oh, just beat the buzzer. Conley, cool, calm. Knocks home a 3. Left hand dribble to his right. Ibaka, slip pass, Rudy, fouled, and 1! Bucket, big man!
Conley back out front, and now Mitchell gives it right back to Mike Conley. Mitchell, deep 3, nothing but the bottom. Donovan Mitchell.
He tried to slow his momentum and hope that Gobert got past him, and Gobert used all that length to come up with the block.
Conley hits the 3. Spurs with 5 on their 10. Conley on the bounce, tosses it up and in with 29 seconds remaining.
If you have a wide open 18-footer, go ahead and take it.
Conley in the paint.
Rudy Gobert just stood him up a little bit, blows past him, and nice use of the glass.
Keldon with a half dozen. Bogdanovich answers with another triple, though. He's yet to take a 3 tonight. Conley probing away. Bogdanovich doesn't need much time to get that off.
Just needed to see the rim.
Gobert may have got a piece of that. Bogdanovich has got 20 now and has hit 4 of 5 from 3. Conley drains the 3. Timeout Spurs as Utah. And Ingles the corner 3. Rebound Vassell, watch out. Conley sneaks in from behind and grabs it.
Well, that'll be a learning experience for him.
Spurs, Keldon Johnson Keldon Johnson, I should say, and DeMar DeRozan have 41 between them. And Utah starts off the 4th quarter with another bucket.
He just cannot get one to fall for him.
And Murray has been so consistent through the first 5. Mike Conley comes right back at him. Blocked by Gobert, and now tries a 3, and Gobert blocks that.
The problem was putting the ball on the floor in front of Gobert. You got to keep your dribble there.
And a 3 from Mike Conley, and Pop will take a timeout.
How he's able to understand working that position in the post with the quickness of his feet.
Nice move inside, Royce O'Neal.
Things will be ever changing throughout the course of the season. When it comes to the rotation, when it comes to lineups, everyone getting an opportunity when needed.
Conley a 3, 63%. They've limited the Jazz to 31%, including 2 of 10 from long range. Conley, that jab step. He can switch hands. Irving tosses ahead, and that's how the half will end. The Nets come out with a completely different starting 5.
4 offensive rebounds.
Conley, ball fake, kick it out. Mitchell, that pullback is pure. Knocked outside, claimed by Conley. O'Neal gets another crack at it. Long rebound to Conley. Mitchell a 3, rainbow delivery.
He comes in with a grit and an intensity every time on the floor.
Mismatch, Conley Outside, Mitchell. He's heating up. Rattles home on a three. 22 for Donovan.
It just lets him ride on his back until he gets in position to be able to put up a nice shot.
15 for Levert. Ingles shooting practice. That's a three. 18 now for Levert. 90-67. Conley answers.
Randall from three, rebounded by Conley.
He's only 6'1", a lot of shake and bake in his game.
First bucket for the Jazz. Shot clock at 3. Clarkson from 3. Down to 5 seconds.
Knicks have another foul to give if they like.
Conley rejected by Robinson, but it will count. It's a goaltend. Conley, Niang favors Clarkson and Ingles on the floor for the Jazz as Niang hits a 3. Ingles puts up a 3.
Tantalizing the Knicks again. They're leaving him uncontested from behind the arc.
O'Neal for Bogdanovich.
This is good defensive intensity by the Knicks.
And now Mitchell nails a 3.
And Randall belated it. Coach changing the defense now. Now that the Jazz in a man-to-man. Oh,
Barrett's pass picked off by Conley. Knicks within 8. 56-48 Jazz as Conley pulls up and knocks it down.
Conley at one time had the 3 consecutive turnovers in that second quarter.
Knicks back to within 8. Conley looking for the alley-oop to Gobert.
You mentioned Conley's savvy for the game, folks.
Now Barrett underneath for Randall.
Randall misses an easy one. This is where Conley's slick and clever in transition. Right there, finding Gobert.
On the bounce pass, and Gobert finishes with the slam.
Drew Holiday drives on Mitchell. Mitchell ends up with the rebound. He's squeezed at midcourt, gets it away to Conley. Conley giving it up. And the 3-ball made by Royce O'Neal. They were up 18 in the second quarter in New York in the last game and lost 112-100. Here's Conley, and he hits the 3 from the corner.
Games that have caused him some issues this season.
Three-pointer good for Mike Conley.
Talking earlier about offensive rebounding, try and manufacture points in a variety of different ways. Didn't take a bite out the apple took a bite out of them. This is COVID season. You're not supposed to enjoy the apple anymore.
Rudy Gobert with a flush.
Is coming into his own this season, 3 for 6 from the three-point line in the first half.
Thank you, Zora. Kicked out to the corner for a 3. Royce O'Neal. Augustine 0 for 3 on triple attempts. Mike Conley for 3.
That's terrible defense. No excuse, leaving Mike Conley Jr. A great interior defense by Brook Lopez. Meet him at the summit, the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Royce O'Neal.
Not knowing what Giannis is going to be able to give you. I suspect he's okay. He's back out on the floor.
It's a nice high glasser for Donovan Mitchell. 4-point game, 77-73 Utah. Conley in the corner. Middleton tight to him. Gobert sets the screen, gets it back for the flush.
You see what happens when Gobert decides to dunk everything.
7 at halftime. They're down 7 here with 1:11 to play in the third quarter. So with all of that, they had played Utah even before Conley's basket.
He's a pretty solid on-ball defender, but didn't show it on that possession.
Yang for 3. Giannis puts a hand up, and George hits it. Utah did not turn it over. 6 for 6 points, all in the first half, and there he is again, Jordan Clarkson.
Just a point-blank layup. Ball slips through the fingers of Bobby Portis, and then Utah comes back with a Royce O'Neal 3-pointer, 17 points late in the fourth quarter. And the idea, let me get out here. Let's see if we can make one last stand.
Utah with the lead can milk the clock a little bit.
The Jazz control it anyway. Topside gun won't go. The follow-up does. Mike Conley quarterbacks this offense beautifully.
Wow.
And they set up Donovan Mitchell. Conley shot right down the middle. Rebound kicks out to Conley. Conley floats it inside. Jazz got a little comfortable with that 20-point lead. Jeremy Grant with penetration. Here's a swipe, though, by Conley. Off the floor for Conley. Jordan Clarkson for three, and it's through for the Jazz.
Was taking advantage of opportunities in the painted area. 3 touches and 3 scores.
Screen from Gobert for Conley. Able to score it is Mike Conley, the veteran from Ohio State.
He's a shooter, so he has to keep shooting. Just make sure his shots are good shots, shots where he's uncontested, and square it up.
George Niang, the fifth-year man from Iowa State, gets a screen from Rudy Gobert, shortens up the triple try, misses. Jahlil Okafor with a rebound. Here's a swipe by Conley, though, and he lays it in.
To try to get another stop here. They cut it to 11 for a moment.
For a hot minute, Mike Conley to forecourt against him. Screen from Gobert. Conley from the lane. Little floater, fills it up.
He knows how to probe, and he knows how to keep his dribble alive, keep you off balance defensively.
But Utah leads by 15. Conley with a drive protected that basketball with his body beautifully as he laid it in.
See you after the game during the second half. We'll keep you posted on everything happening around the NBA. Miami and Boston coming up at 7 Eastern. Let's get back out to George Blaha and Greg Kelser.
If it's close coming down the stretches of games, that's going to help them.
Jazz with the ball up by 13. Bojan rolls inside and scores. He was 1 of 4 in the first half.
Gobert in front, lost it. Conley for 3. It's through. That's a clutch player right there, Mike Conley.
Played 1 season at Ohio State. Conley angles off a Gobert screen. They love the pick and roll, those two, and that's why Gobert with an easy bucket right at the rim. At that point guard spot has been needed to fill in for the Cavs as Osman bounces off toward Dotson. That's picked off easily. The Cavs are missing 3 point guards. They've been without those point guards for a handful of games. Mitchell catch and shoot rhythm 3. Got to read that scouting report, Rudy, as Bogdanovich will back up, look to set up McGee. Deal to Conley instead. Conley, nice to the bucket upstairs for Gobert. Conley gets a Gobert screen, works to the foul line, feeds underneath the Niang. The Cavs are still seeking their first long distance make. A steal. Conley slows down, waits for Niang. He banks, he misses. A wrist issue kept him out of the playoffs, opted for surgery. He's not a part of that first round series as Conley connects with a triple. Conley runs into McGee, lost the ball momentarily, back to a wide open Bogdanovich. All right, time for the Cavs to get a move on here. Bogdanovich takes the inbounds pass, shovels to O'Neal. O'Neal works on Osman, deals off to Conley. Conley at 3.
Niang, Rudy, and Oni, who's getting more time tonight with Joe out. Clarkson takes on a double team and floats home 2 more minutes. Man, it's tough.
Conley comes off a Gobert screen. Gobert rolls. Conley shoots the 3, and the Jazz have knocked down 19. Cavs have already seen the next 3 times, once in the regular season, twice in the preseason. Clarkson and Conley give and go to perfection.
It's just good to be home. It's been 2 long weeks since the Jazz played on this floor.
Yeah, it has, Bo, and the Jazz haven't really established as Mike Conley takes a mid-ranger. That's a good sign.
You know, he was born in Utah. His mom was in the Air Force here and was born just north of Salt Lake. Buckets on the other end. Utah having a nice start with Conley. Rudy takes the inbound. Hands it back to Mike. He'll take the three. Wow, drains it. Conley red hot tee. How about 43% from downtown? His last three coming in. They'll keep an eye on the three-point shots. He averaged 41 attempts, 16 makes. That's 39%. Ball comes loose off the hand of Hunter. Conley on the wing. Off to Bogdanovich. Takes a step to his left. That's 39%. Ball comes loose off the hand of Hunter. Conley on the wing. Off to Bogdanovich, takes a step to his left. Another three ball, and the Jazz smoking hot at home.
Well, the Jazz aren't allowing them to shoot threes either, so a lot of what Atlanta's doing, they're getting inside the paint.
They get a paint. Minivan.
Atlanta seems to be isolating more. They don't get anything on the fast break. What a nice floater there by Mike Conley.
But to me, it looked like it was still climbing.
I agree.
Up top, the pass. Conley finds Rudy.
Gets that offensive foul call.
Rondo runs it inside. Conley picks up the loose ball, gives it a three-quarter heave. Hit the front of the rim. Oohs and ahs at Vivid Arena.
Yeah, Atlanta, they're making it really tough for Mike Conley, and it's kind of that defense that. Yeah, there you go.
9.8 to get a shot off. Conley out front. He'll drive the paint. Inside, rolls it home. 90-74. 15 three-pointers.
Great defense by the Jazz.
First minute of the fourth. Conley, beautiful pass. Rudy, and one. Oni chases after Reddish. Good D. Gobert, the rebound. Clarkson.
Blame on. Yeah, you don't give up. He misses a three and gets his own rebound. Shows that he's engaged in the game.
Jazz getting stingy on D. Oh, beautiful pass. Conley to Clarkson.
Shows that he's engaged in the game.
Jazz getting stingy on D. Oh, beautiful pass. Conley to Clarkson. The lead is 26. Another miss by Young. Clarkson fires a shot off to Conley. Here's Niang. Corner three. He's waving the crowd on. Let's hear it.
And Mike Conley has it. Conley now 33 years old in his 14th year. A wide open look for Royce O'Neal, and you can't leave him open. Now Murray. Bogdanovich, long range. That's good. He's one of 4 guys in the league to shoot 40+ threes in the last 3 years. Little crossover, and Harris left it short. Here comes Conley. Conley's a deadly three-point shooter, and he knocks it in. Now they're going to call that a 2-pointer, so make it 12-7. Gobert, the second best rebounder in the league, averaging 13.3. Drummond is higher, and another three goes in, and Malone wants timeout.
Guys, asked the same question. Utah coach Quinn Snyder said they do look back and look at certain things just in case there is adjustments that they might see in a game like tonight again. So a couple of different approaches here to this game here tonight, fellas.
Conley off the dribble, and he knocks it in.
I am so impressed with Mike Conley.
33-32 our score. Little floater in the lane, that's good. Jordan Clarkson. Campasso trying to stay up with Conley. And Conley's right-hander. How does he do that, Scott? He's left-handed on every other shot, but that little floater in the lane, he goes with the right hand nearly.
That in there, didn't
he does. The Nuggets pull back to within 6. Campasso trying to stay with the elusive Mike Conley. Clarkson in the lane. He'll put that to bed. He does.
He just kind of giving too much space.
Murray around everybody, coming in on Gobert. Backwards it went. Oni with the rebound. And Conley cruises in for the layup. He'd like to play 40 minutes a game. He doesn't like to come out. Bogdanovich left open, and he knocks it in. And the Nuggets should never allow that. Over the top, and it's pretty good defense. Oh, and Jokic did not see Conley behind him. Clarkson for 3. Costly. I got to get Murray going again, too. He did not score in the third quarter.
0 for 5.
Niang is on the run, and he floats it home.
He just used his size on Campasso, tried to flop it.
26 for Murray. Conley off the glass.
In the playoffs last year, you might remember Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray just going off. Each had a 50-point game, and Mitchell's off to a good start.
Both teams are so good at crashing the offensive glass. Great cut by Donovan Mitchell, pass by Mike Conley. So, you know, I think Ball is still the starter, and, you know, certainly it brings a lot to the table. But some of these young guys, like Alexander Walker, really showed that they belong. And he said he loves his scoring instincts and really gets into the paint well. You know, of course, like any coach, wants him to see the court a little bit better to try to win this game on the road against this Jazz team.
Utah has the opening possession of the second half. Gobert on a rim run. Bogdanovich kicks it. O'Neal for 3, and he's got it. Conley put it in the pocket for him, and Royce O'Neal hits a three-pointer. Now Conley, and he'll fire up a 3. Oh, he hits it, and they foul. A career-high 7 threes per game this year, and he's averaging over 42%. Passes up a 3 this time. Mitchell will fire it, and another one down. And we certainly want to thank all the men and women who have been able to put this together as Gobert hammers it home.
And for the Pelicans, they just, every shot is contested. It's a struggle to score on the offensive end, where Utah sharing the basketball, cutting hard, and once again, another open look.
And he is adding to the three-point barrage here for Utah. There's a steal by Conley, and that takes us to the end of the third quarter.
Let's see.
19-point Utah lead. Ingles for 3. There's another one for Utah. They're 18th.
This has been textbook here, particularly in this third quarter for Utah offensively.
Donovan's working on his 3rd of the season with 28. Rudy inside, swings it up, rolls it home.
What a great move by Rudy right
now. Tuesday just had 9, but Sunday against Sacramento, he threw in 21 for the Pelicans. Here is a 3. Mitchell, good. And like you talked about, the three-point shot.
Contract in the offseason for the Jazz.
Mitchell, 3, good. He puts in another one from outside. 2 and 2 from distance. Niang, oh, beautiful pass. The cutting Conley for 2. Again, Ingram's got 16 resting on the bench. Here comes Alexander Walker looking for Hayes inside, bobbled away. Mike Conley's.
They're being rewarded with free throw attempts.
You don't want to leave that guy, though. Good deflection. Recovery, Niang got another triple.
Protecting that paint area here.
Clarkson, 3, good. Oh. Wow, what a shot by Jordan Clarkson.
Gonna have to learn to get a more consistent jump shot. And be better defensively.
Spin. Here's the floater. He puts it in. Pretty play by Mike Conley off that pitch.
And how about the game on Tuesday where he had 6 assists? You know, Quinn Snyder telling him he is buying into this system as the Pelicans. Another turnover here in this second quarter.
So even with the record 3 games below 500 and hitting this patch where they've lost 6 of 7, they still have some maneuverability with a nice shot with some pressure on a fadeaway by Bogdanovich. And Bledsoe right into Mitchell. Knocked it away. Nice defense. And Conley now with a half minute to play in the second quarter. Oh, look at the maneuvering. Look at the shot. Good! What a play, Reggie, by Mike Conley. 52% shooting by the Jazz. They've had 10 threes, 9 threes by the Pelicans. Overall shooting 53%. Great spin move by Conley for 2.
That first day of practice, he tried to move Steven Adams out of the paint. Nice move and alley-oop from Conley.
Here comes O'Neal, numbers the other way. Bogdanovich thinking 3 and will tee one up. Push back up and in, Conley. Oh, he's been crafty tonight.
Now look at this. It's been a lot of isolation one-on-one basketball here in this third quarter.
Ball movement stops. Good drive inside, but knocked the out. When he goes down there, man, he is dynamite. He now has 25. Conley, 3. Got it. Nice shot outside. He's shooting 50%. Crossover Conley with a floater. The screen from O'Neal. Works on the perimeter. Williamson fell, and down goes the shot of 3 from Conley.
He's obviously in the conversation early on right now for Rookie of the Year, but we'll see how his season goes as we move forward.
Royce just hit from the same spot.
Leading the league right now, last 7 games for the Jazz in the plus-minus, #1 in the league.
Golden State comes up short on their first 2 shots. The Jazz red hot.
There were a few of those where you didn't get in late, but sometimes the best games come out of those late nights.
Wiseman the rebound, lost it. Rudy out on the perimeter. Here's Mike on the wing. 3 ball, good.
Setting someone else up. That time Rudy Gobert on an aggressive drive to the basket and the lob.
Stolen, Conley. Clarkson runs with him. The trailer, put it up.
So he's working on that mid-range and that stretch game.
Conley, a quick 9 to start, and right on cue, drops his 4th 3. Shot clock at 15, game clock at 33. Bojan saves it out to Conley. Kate takes the 3, rips it home. Just 19 years old, 11 for the rookie out of Memphis.
Well, you like his courage. You know, many have tried, few have failed to.
Another rebound by Conley, another 3 ball. Bojan comes up short. The Jazz get another look off a rebound by Donovan. Push it up and in. Mike Conley with 17.
Just shows you how much, almost a perfect game this is. Working on both ends of the court and also taking care of the basketball.
That ball may have been deflected out by Gobert. Here comes Utah with Conley. Julius Randle, who goes 35% from downtown, hit that corner 3. Royce O'Neal straight away. He'll pump up the 3 ball and throws it home. 6 points, 4 rebounds for Gobert. O'Neal was 7 to lead Utah in scoring. There you go.
There it is.
3 ball by Niang.
Put more pressure and presence on the ball, dictate where we want him to go in this half, guys.
Yeah, and KK and Thurl, I think the key, you know, is just the physical play. And how about that? Conley. Mike behind the screen of Gobert. Let's see if the Jazz can ride the back of Conley. Conley back to work. Out to Bogey. Jazz need his 3 ball. Got it. Conley finds room in the paint. They're going to count it 2. Bojan drives in left side. Now back out front. Conley. He'll try the right wing. Ball deflected out. Nice roll inside.
Nice.
Easiest bucket of the night. And it's going to be a timeout call by Tom Thibodeau. Mike Conley trapped in the paint. Tries to dig it out. Ball rolls over to Joe. 3. Nails it. That's 46 now on the season for Rudy. Conley. Here's Niang. Pitches up a 3. Hits it. Niang has been. Utah up by 14. How about 17 on the 3 ball by Conley. Conley. Little floater, caught the rim. Mike has made that shot almost automatic. The high lob, put it down. You know, I think he lulls you to sleep thinking he's going to push it up, but he drops it to Rudy, and Gobert with 2 buckets early. James Johnson with the bucket out of Wake Forest in his 12th year. Conley back to the floater. Well, Bogey and Conley have been a little strong on their last 2 tries. Mike with the steal.
Do offensively, it doesn't change regardless of who's in, who's out. It does not change what makes them effective.
Clarkson from 3. The assist, Conley.
That just can't happen in a tight game.
Utah with a very small lineup on the floor. Brunson stop and go. Ball stripped, lost it. I think it hit it right off his hip. Clarkson runs. Oni in traffic, throws it off. Jazz rotate out to Niang. They make the extra pass. That's 4 3-pointers by Joe in the first half and another rebound. There's a double-double for Rudy, his 15th of the year in the first half. Joe right back. Ingles getting his first start of the season.
But yeah, in an impatient league where GMs are just saying, let's make a change. Joe Ingles showing why change is sometimes not good. Will the Jazz continue the kind of defense we saw in that first half?
No, they're making one now. Conley for 3. Answers back. Clarkson to tap out, and the rebound finds its way now finally to Conley. He'll lob it to Royce again. And the Jazz are running Dallas out of the house.
Yes, they are. Trey Burke is one of those guys.
Well, the run by Dallas was one reason why Quinn stopped and called the timeout. It was also the fact that the Jazz had missed 8 straight shots. Brunson 2 of 6. Trey Burke picks up Conley. Mike working behind Gobert's screen. Splashes into 3. The Jazz have hit 15 of 35. Left to right hand. Bell high dribble. Rudy again comes out for the high screen. Floater. Can't stop it. 14 for Mike.
Porzingis stood his ground in the paint. He went back out to O'Neal. The exchange with Conley, who fires a 3 and hit it.
Fitting in much better than we saw last year in his first year with Utah, but he was battling injury there. Makes a great pass to Gobert for the slam. Porzingis got caught in midair. Ingles read it, came up with a steal, hits a cutting Bogdanovic. Again, phenomenal ball movement, and it's paid off with a Conley 3.
Very strong first quarter team in terms of their pace, Utah.
Doncic turns it over, lost his footing, 2-on-1. Conley waits for some help. 1 for 8 in his first game back after missing a couple of weeks on Wednesday. Conley penetrates so good with that other hand, score it, and it's 12-6 Utah.
You've got to try to find a way to find some kind of rhythm.
They added a point back on the Clarkson jumper. They did give him a 3, so yeah, Porzingis a career low this year in 3-point shooting, still working his way back as another 3 goes for Utah. Zone defense right now. Burke's 3 way off. Rebounded by Morgan, who started a couple of playoff games last year because of injuries. Clarkson lets it fly, and it's another 3. That's 8 for the Jazz. They have a 26-point lead in the opening quarter. Johnson through the lane, turns it over, and then Porzingis reaches in, commits the foul on Conley. You just called their game against the Lakers on Wednesday night. I know you've had the Sixers in person a few times. What do you see as the biggest difference as Conley gets that one to bounce?
Not surprisingly, by Luka Doncic, who is getting to his game now. He is controlling the tempo on the offensive end.
Gobert puts it in, and another foul on Porzingis. That's 3 on Porzingis. Doncic charged with defending Conley with a timer at 5. Conley trying to shake him. Step back 3 is good. Leading scorer for Dallas is Luka Doncic with 17 as Gobert goes right at Porzingis. That's the 4th foul on Porzingis.
Nothing's going to pop out about what Dwight Powell did in the first half, but I thought his energy changed how Dallas felt.
Bogdanovic's 3 is on the mark.
That's great.
And that was in response as Bogdanovic gets basket inside and he's fouled. Tomorrow they will play Phoenix, so that'll be the 3rd game in a row where at least Finney-Smith, Porzingis, Powell, and Richardson are all on the court together. They could get Maxi Kleber back.
And he sits down in the huddle and he says, "Get Larry the ball."
Conley drains a 3 from the corner.
In college basketball, Bob Stites was an intrepid spirit, and our colleague Mike Green was a big boost to me in getting that position, so thank you to both of those men. This is an aggressive, like, they hunt those shots and they're prepared on the catch. It is something else.
18 threes for Utah, and through 19 threes. Also look ahead to the weekend in sports. Coaching hires in the NFL. Look ahead to the Super Bowl. Floater is good from Conley.
Detroit, patient, feeds the ball inside, stolen away. Utah forces a turnover. Royce O'Neal brings it into front court. Now Mike flips a switch and knocks the three home. And Conley brings down the rebound.
Well, that was Ellington that took that shot last game against Golden State. He went 0 for 5 from 3, so he's looking to get going early as well, like Mike Conley.
(24-13). And they're back to within 9. Utah's largest lead was 16. Conley breaks free. Nice quarter. 9 for Mike. Mike goes baseline. Niang, wide open look. 3, cans it. Clarkson, head fake, the floater, soft touch, beauty. Clarkson 0 for 2 to start. Bojan putting together his third strong consecutive game as we get back to action now. Third quarter, and the Jazz lead by 23. Make it 25 on the Gobert dunk. Frank Layden be standing there with a magic marker, right?
That's right.
Ball poked away by Conley. Good hands. Royce O'Neal, front court. Blake had a look off his left side. There's a steal at midcourt by O'Neal. Bojan wanted the 3, gives it up. Royce will take it. Downtown, you bet. Conley's in the paint, flick of the wrist, and scores. And KK Mitchell. Inside lob, Rudy dumps it back down low. Oh, beautiful bucket. Somehow, I lost him in the timber. Throw, that's just a 7th three-pointer drop by Detroit. They were 9 of 36 against Golden State Saturday night. Extra effort, and Conley comes out of the pack. He'll run. He's got bogey, corner 3. Got it!
There you go.
He did not attempt a free throw in last night's game against Dallas. His first 2 go down, and he's got 9.
Well, Donovan Mitchell, that's too easy.
Conley getting back out there, played just 8 minutes in that first quarter before the fouls mounted up. Puts in this little floater.
You give the Hawks another option offensively.
Lob to Gobert. Tough week against some of the big name clubs in the West. And an Eastern Conference foe coming in here Saturday, Toronto, as Mike Conley drills this one.
How smooth they were on the offensive end. Around the basket, that was automatic.
Back to the left hand for Mike Conley. 57-45. Hawks within striking distance. As Conley is liking that right hand tonight. Conley gets it back, turns, lobs, and Gobert with the slam. 75-58, final minute of the period. Conley, peekaboo with Gobert, drives it, and hits it.
Well, Conley's been outstanding in this third quarter.
High pick and roll with Gobert. Clarkson, wing 3, bullseye. Man. Jordan Clarkson. That's his 4th 3 tonight.
As an opponent, you can't prepare for that. You never seen it. You don't know how the Hornets are going to play. You can tell they're playing much faster.
Mike Conley. Uh-oh. That's the first 3 in the ball.
Had his left arm grabbed by Niang on that play.
Ooh, Jordan Clarkson. How quick was that? Final moments of our first quarter. Conley's got it. The veteran. Wow. That was nice. With 0.2 remaining in the quarter.
And that's what we saw in this the start of this game tonight. Niang gave it a ride and the bounce for 3.
Oh no. Clarkson, man, he's got a quick trigger. Mike Conley.
Sometimes you can get in a 3-point contest with the Jazz. And a lot of times you're not going to win because they got more shooters. They got better shooters. Move aside teams in the league.
You got company.
Every one of his made field goals have been that way.
Uh-oh. Mike Conley off to the races.
Rudy at 13 boards, Matt. He's about 13.5 a night. Conley corner. Bang. Got it. Conley dialed in with 16.
Conley will pull up and take the three, and it's good. He's fitting in this year after struggling last year to find his way with the Jazz.
Whether they're switching or trapping and the rotation.
Paul George playing for the first time since February 3rd. He's been battling a toe injury as Conley has all 5 for Utah. Ten straight points by the Clippers, who have a 5-point lead, but then Conley comes back and scores again. But they trail by 8 early second quarter here. Reggie Jackson on the floor, and a good defensive play, that time by Mike Conley. Leonard.
Nice.
Great play behind Leonard. It was Conley coming with the swat.
Well, they needed that because he had created the space.
Mitchell very aggressive here. They haven't lost since the end of January at Denver. They've won 9 in a row, 20 of their last 21, and they've been blowing teams out. Conley with a 3, and it's a 2-point game.
And you're putting it on the line. Right there, you had 2 of your best big guys underneath, and they come up with a basket, second chance score.
Hard to believe, T. Already in his 11th campaign in the NBA. Donovan, bogey, drives baseline, kicking out to Royce. How about the blender? Conley, corner 3.
There was nobody really to keep Gordon Hayward off the glass.
Donovan drives on Hayward. Conley, same spot a moment ago, and splashes home his second three-pointer. 3 of 4 from downtown. Conley back to work, left to right hand, kicks it out. Joe winds up 3 ball, up and in. Wow.
Rest is history.
Ingles back to Conley, slide it to Niang, corner 3, up and good.
That's good to see.
George with a 3 ball, 21 3-point attempts in this first half, just 2 shots at the rim.
Yeah, the blender's definitely working.
Niang, beautiful shot, rainbows on 3. In that first half of play, don't forget the points in the paint. It was a 28-12 advantage by the Hornets. How about that save by Mitchell? But it falls into the hands of Jazz by 3. Ball inside. The Jazz forced a turnover. 10 giveaways by the Hornets. And how about 3 on the other end by Clarkson?
So many guys on this Jazz team that can knock that shot down. Now the defense is really starting to kick in this fourth quarter.
Back out it goes to Clarkson. Looking for Rudy, goes to the corner. Conley, 3 ball, bang! Conley the steal. Stepped right in front of the pass to take it away from McDaniel. Here's Clarkson. Conley, step back 3. Why not? Why not, T? 27 of 53. Pick and roll. Rudy to the rack.
Offensive rebound by Mitchell off the O'Neal miss. Here's Conley, who has played very well, shooting a career high 41% from 3-point land.
There's a lot of guys that have that argument in the Western Conference.
Conley with a steal and 5 quick ones.
LeBron James needs help. Guys that can create offense on their own. Morris is a proven scorer, and Tucker, a young guy that can handle the basketball and make plays for himself.
Comes up short on the 3, hit the deck. So numbers for Utah right now, and Conley ends up wide open. Hits the 3, and Conley off to a great start. In 2019 by the Magic, traded to the Lakers, only played 6 games last year, spent most of the season in the G League. He was great in the preseason, earning a spot in the rotation this year. Conley's 3 is there. He's 4 for 4. Utah team win a championship against, assuming, a fully healthy Lakers team and a fully healthy Clippers team, as Conley makes it 11.
Takes the defense with and finds Gasol all by himself.
Mitchell rising, and a triple for Donovan Mitchell, his first field goal of the night.
It's a recipe for disaster against this Jazz team.
Yeah, Utah's +9. So 27 more points off 3 balls. Nice pass to Gobert for the easy dunk in his 13th NBA season. There's Conley, a longtime Gasol teammate in Memphis. Bogdanovich picks up where he left off. 4 of 5 now for him. Conley lobs for and there is Gobert again, another alley-oop dunk. This week that, you know, he said it's like going to the line at the DMV. You get there and you have just your old driver's license.
Well, with great seasons and being left off the All-Star game, so it happens. You got to use it as motivation and continue to get better.
And the threes keep coming from the Utah Jazz.
That's usually Gobert's territory. Mitchell off the pump fake. He drives all the way in. That's the first field goal of the game for Utah.
Because he's not going to get on top of the rim often.
Oh, Conley got free of Kendrick Nunn. First field goal for the 33-year-old Mike Conley in his second year with the Jazz. Back to Olynyk. 2 minutes left, first quarter. Oh, Conley stole the pass by Nunn.
Not being out there would really hurt Miami's ability to be able to defend with Gobert, and then just all the space that he creates on the defensive end and covers.
What a pickup Clarkson was. What a one-sided trade that well. Perfect pass. Conley put it in the sky. Gobert crushed it. That's good. Conley, second triple. They've both been in this quarter. He has 8 points. But Rudy always makes it tough when you're around that rim. We stay tied at 51. Mitchell on the drive. Bam, got it with both hands, but a goaltend. Heat ahead by 7. Conley. Back the other way, Mitchell. And Mitchell got fouled. Basket counts. Foul shots. Heat ahead by 7. 8:20 left. Third quarter. Conley off the fake. Hits the spinner.
Earlier exit for them than expected.
Yeah, had right wrist surgery last May. That did hurt him in the playoffs. Where Royce O'Neal helping him. 2 triples.
Allowing Duncan to come flying off. Mitchell still shaking his head after that screen.
Gobert able to tap it in on a perfect lob from Conley. Draws the foul on Olynyk. And Utah has evened the game at 77. Jordan Clarkson back topside to Ingles. Now it's Conley. Conley hits the runner.
Oh my.
12 points for Mike Conley. Conley on the move, missed it. Rebound to Butler, his 8th of the game. He goes down and Conley ties him up.
Tap it here to Bam. Oh no.
Oh, he should have went the other way when he had 2 players there, Olynyk and Robinson. Bogdanovich for 3. Oh. Got it. Conley into the paint, able to score over Duncan Robinson.
They eclipsed 120 points 8 times in the month. As Gobert steps out and sticks the mid-range jumper.
Takes over as the interim head coach. They were underachievers so far this year. Conley always finishes with the right hand. Always. The lefty goes right when it comes to.
And it doesn't take him very long to get his first of the night.
Well, he got a rebound. Well, we know he can do that at 6'5", averaging 7.4 rebounds. And then a score, and then Mike Conley. For the last 18, shooting 45%. That is tremendous.
Mike Conley, beautiful backdoor cut.
100% on both ends, plays extremely hard, knows how to play.
Just embraces his role, right? Which is, he's going to be in the league a long time. And rebounds really, really, really well for a guard.
One of the best rebounders inch for inch.
I run this every time, Channing. The last 2 plays, Zion Williamson instead of pick, the guy who's guarding him won't get off his body and help. But the speed of Zion, and we talked about his strength, but his speed, he just blew past Royce O'Neal.
Boy, not sure if that was a pass or a shot from Conley, but Rudy Gobert will take it. Williamson, 12th in the league in scoring. He's hit for 30 in 5 of their last 8. It's Mitchell on a 3. And look at Bogdanovich rip it back from Adams. Conley from deep.
You can't get all the way. You got to be able to stop and make the mid-range shot.
There's Bogdanovich drawing a lot of attention now. Gobert, terrific spot underneath, and he goes right over the top of Adams.
He would love to have that one back. Boy, Bledsoe had too much time to set the table and shoot that 3. Got his feet set, got on balance, and then just didn't put enough on it.
How about a 38-20 third quarter so far? Is this going to be one of those odd even games? First, third belong to the Pels?
Don't say that.
Now Conley. Good decision. Got to be able to make your free throws, and Billy can. Zion off the Lonzo pick, and the pass off target. Right idea. He wanted Billy, who was available. He got contact, and he gets an air ball out of it. Yeah, you got to finish, especially if you're not defended. It's Bogdanovich, a wide open three.
Again, against this team.
Game. Pels shooting 57% against this team. That's how well they played. Zion on the spin. Conley takes it away. And good foul.
Like Conley back in there. George Niang, and watch out for Jordan Clarkson, number 00, on the floor for the first time as Conley hits the three. One-time Laker, one-time Cleveland Cavalier. Jazz keep possession. Conley barely got it off and in. It's the second time the Jazz have barely beaten the shot clock and come up with something. Korkmaz, that's for two.
That's a nice move. I know it didn't fall, but that's a nice move.
Conley alone for a three, and that's going to be a timeout. Mitchell got hit in the face inadvertently by Simmons. Bogdanovich thinking about it. There it is, and down it goes. And again, the Jazz by as many as 13. Conley got it done. Mike Conley. Yep.
Because you wonder if it curbs his aggressiveness later on. Usually foul trouble will do that. Man.
Sixers down 5. I mean, for all we're talking about with the Jazz and their big advantage in three-point shooting, it's very much a game. Is Conley a tough two? Bogdanovich hitting the three.
Boyan drives the paint out to Conley, puts it down on the deck, back out. A corner three. Boyan rainbows it up and in. 41% first half of the season for Bogey. And works it off to Rudy. Here's Mike behind Gobert's screen. Wants the three. Back inside. Beautiful cut, beautiful bucket, and the assist to Donovan. Utah's put up 33, Thurl, in this first quarter. Looking for three more. There it is. Conley buries the three. Cutter. Niang caught the rim and in. George Niang with a couple of hoops here in the first half. Nice pick off. Conley.
Oh, and you saw Oladipo. They're just trying to figure out who they are. Nice job by Conley.
That's a veteran's move. The lean, the foul, the finish.
McLemore coming up a little hobbled on that play.
Stolen by Donovan. Conley races out on the wing. Rudy runs with him and flies home with a two-hander.
Boy, they're not going to make a lot of threes, but they'll be aggressive on the other end.
Conley left alone. Speaking of threes, T, there it is. Conley drops it. He was 3 of 5 in the first half. Well, Mike just kept working. And I've asked Q about this too. Yes, a player does and can get better if you work at it. And I'll tell you, Mike, you're on stage, right on cue. You knock it home from 3. Trying to get past Porter. There's that patented shot in the paint. Just floats it home. Great touch. 15 points, 13 shots. Mike Conley settles things down. His first 2 here in the fourth.
Gobert. Off balance.
Tough finish. Could have been an and one, too.
Yep.
Inside. Pass it out. Royce. Conley 3-ball. Bang. 20 for Mike.
That way they're not fighting the shot clock. They get in the paint, draw the defense in, get good looks.
And Mitchell, speaking of threes, bottoms one right there. Everything starts with that high screen roll, as Kalena was talking about. A lot of pick and roll players. And Conley bottoms a 3 out of the corner.
Got to figure out how to finish. Draymond didn't shy away from contact.
Gobert, the distributor, and Conley. Beautiful cut off the big man. They're holding Utah to 37% shooting right now. Clarkson, 18 points a game in 26 minutes.
He sealed the switch man. Be content with just hitting him and just releasing.
So Ingles, that's a beautiful handoff. And so you look at Jordan Poole's offense. The other thing with Juan is he's going to play defense and be hard-nosed in there. Oh, Conley, what a spin there.
That's just a tough cover for James Wiseman.
6 elite teams in a row.
When you have a stretch like this.
But there are better days ahead, scheduling-wise.
They're going to have a chance to fight for that 6th seed.
And Conley scoring out of the timeout. Tanking and losing games, you know, that's just not a good look for sports. So the NBA is kind of getting on top of that twice. Now Conley had the layup and the 3 after the Warriors had built the early double-digit lead. Royce O'Neal missing that 3, but the ricochet out, and Mitchell will hoist. And they get nearly half their points from 3, so just kind of an inevitability. Bogdanovich is in the corner, and Steph was ready for him. Mike Conley, all these little driving kicks, and then there's Gobert to finish, and there's Utah at their very best right there. Kids, chime in. What's happening?
Who knows?
If you dunk on somebody, what happens? let us know.
Oh, man, like that?
Okay, is that going to be a,
is that a
video? A poster?
That's not a poster. And they're not going to make it easy on
the Warriors have played exceedingly well, and so have the Jazz.
Oh, no.
And now,
Don't
again,
start this.
One-handed pass stolen again. Draymond made up for it with the stop, knocked it away. All that high screen roll, and Conley is smoothly to the rim.
Steph's been doing that, splitting double teams, finding space in between. Uh-oh.
And Gobert at point-blank range.
Just looking at Wiggins' defender, and he's ready to shoot.
Conley, corner 3, and he answers.
They have guys that are trying to usually get shots off by themselves, and look at that last shot. Really not a good shot that you want to get in your offense.
Oh, beautiful setup from Conley to Gobert. Came up way short. Shot by Conley, Mike Conley.
Tatum had that slip through his hands. Conley gets a quick 2.
So comfortable, so comforting for a guard, knowing that they could throw it back to their big man who can knock down that jumper.
Oh, strong move by Ingles.
Again, if I am a Boston Celtics fan, I'm saying, look, we're shooting 55%, but don't fall for it because we're giving up shots like that on the other end.
See the good ball movement. Bogdanovich kicks it back out. There's Conley. Beautiful pass work. And that's the end result. Joe Ingles.
Mitchell spins in the lane. Oh, as that one slapped away. Teague with the quick hands. And that's going to come back Utah's way.
A tremendous all-around athlete at Brigham Young in Provo, Utah. Fourth quarter, we've had 10 ties, 12 lead changes, and 11-2 Boston run to end the quarter. And the third, Tatum with 12 points that third quarter.
Conley.
Jeez.
The right-hand floater you were talking about, Scal.
Funny. I'd like to see Jalen get a few more touches. 9 for 16. He has it flowing. 20 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. You just want to see him with the ball in his hands just a little bit more.
And again, it is Conley. Taken by Mitchell. Conley for 3. Yes.
I think Rudy's going to have that opportunity tonight. Just posting up these smaller guys. He's just got to take his time and not panic when he gets the ball in the post.
The look off, the bucket by Conley. I think Utah last night, Matt, really missed Conley's calm.
This is going to be tough for the Jazz defensively because of what I just mentioned about the size and all the speed of the Raptors here. Gobert's going to switch out. He's going to have to guard on the perimeter.
Grabs a missed shot, corner 3. Conley buries it. And a quick 5 for Mike.
Giving him opportunities because he knows Chris is scoring. He's delivering.
After 2 of 7 from the field start, the Raptors 8 of 10, and Rudy Gobert climbing up and slams it down.
Utah has outscored Toronto this quarter 30-24. Another quick-handed steal by Mitchell.
The ultimate in twine and wine for Leo. You are the twine and wine specialist.
Little
little mini 4-1 run to start the fourth. Joe backs out behind the three. Fires a pass inside. Oh, how did it get to Conley?
Gobert slips the screen. Here's Conley in the paint. Back over to Engels, over Van Vliet.
Yeah, and doesn't have the most, like I said, a little different type of technique, but he's a big guy that you're not going to get up and bother that shot. Tough shot there.
5 of 6 from 3. He doesn't want the last 24 hours to end. Here's Clarkson, connects. Too strong. OG hustling for it. Niang with it. Conley up at the rim, and the Jazz on a 9-0 run. It's 27 points, 11 rebounds. In December of 2019, had 35 points. Conley, and Utah by 1 and a whistle.
Conley on the deck. Gobert through traffic, shut off. Conley gets an open look late in the clock and buries it to get the Jazz on the board. Stepping over. Tipped by Clarkson to Conley. Jazz shoot for their first lead of the night. It's Ingles to try to give it to him, and he does.
Yeah, you got to match up quickly. In 23-17 quarter here.
There's Conley on the drive. Satoransky tried to defend, but Conley still finished his second field goal.
We always talk about the Bulls in assist. Their assists are high, and they're normally playing well. 11 assists on 18 baskets.
No run for Utah over the last 2+ minutes. Bogey will try again. This time the ball off the knee of Chicago. And then a steal by Mike. Donovan fires a pass over to Royce in the corner.
Because then you keep their 3, 4, and 5 man to have to block out. And now your guards are back to balance the floor. Because you always want your 1 and 2 man back if they're not in the play shooting.
But only within 16. It's not out of the realm of possibility by any means. They've hung with the Jazz here in the third. Clarkson, though, gets a free run to the rim off the pick and roll.
That's got to be an automatic switch.
Yep. Gobert and Conley are the only starters, and Conley puts that one in. Here is Conley. Oh, lobbed it up there for Gobert.
Almost got it.
NBA athletes, man, it's crazy. Gobert and Gafford. Wow, Rudy Gobert.
Candidates for Coach of the Year, might even be the front runner. He has done an amazing job with this team, and there's the steal. Conley gets inside and able to score.
And I love that ever since the bubble, they've really exploited how to get more and better three-point shots. What do you think missing a free throw does for your confidence, Mike?
Shatters it. Conley gets inside. Nice high play off the glass for Mike Conley.
Mike Conley, even though he's left-handed, usually finishes with his right. That type of time, a little running left-hand hook.
And no hesitation from Conley. Nails another three. There's so many rumors going around, various players. Of course, we'll have it covered. Niang with Woj. Niang knocks down another three. They're 7 of 11 from three-point range as the Bucks held off some rally by the Celtics. Bucks hot.
Woj is going to filibuster, Mike. He's going to need all 15 minutes of halftime.
Well, the largest lead has been 38. The Nets have never led. The second game is Conley counted and a foul. You always talked about how maybe the hardest player the coach was a declining superstar.
Yeah, particularly on their original team coaches, and you know, we have two of the brightest here tonight in Steve Nash and Quinn Snyder.
He can shoot the three, but he'd rather do just what you just saw, get in the mid-range and get to his bucket.
Conley in the paint, the patented floater. So Mike's on the board. Here's Brooks again to Valanciunas. Ball's lost between the legs. Conley. Rudy claims his third board of this quarter. We just passed the 7-minute mark. Conley behind the three-point line. The lefty puts it up and in.
Just so many weapons.
Happy birthday to Mom. Clarkson had a rough night against the Nets. And you know what? He starts inside. He sees the ball go. 10th pick back in 2015. Scores his first 2 off the bench. Already the Jazz have scored 30 in the quarter. Make it 33. Hottest shooter in the league. Here's Conley for 3. Tapped out by Royce. Picked up by Boyan. Now Conley wide open. The lob. The put down by Gobert. Morant trying to take this game over in the 3rd quarter. Drops it inside. Thought it was a travel. Ingles, nice job. Picks it up. He's got a breakaway bucket. He leaves it out to Conley. Back to Joe. Corner 3. Catch and shoot. Bang. Wow. 3 balls up and out. Another short shot delivered by Jones from Memphis. Conley. Nice lob. Rudy. Oh, yes. Gobert. Yeah, I think you got to pick your moments, Matt. That's what Rudy, I think, has done this year. Oh, there it is. Clarkson. His struggles continue, but the streak is 70.
In Memphis in general, John Morant had nowhere to go, but found a way to kick that ball out.
Mitchell, deep 3. Bang.
Big shot.
Oh, baby. Clutch. Donovan.
Give this guy a lot of credit for extending possessions. He's got his double-double. He's got 27 and 10, but the ball moves and plays with jaw.
Mitchell again. Clutch. Bucket from Donovan. The first Cleveland point. Took him nearly 3 minutes to get on the board. They double down bogey. They rotate out to Donovan. 3-ball good. On fire. Just dominating teams the last 6. 2-point bucket.
Garland knew he had space on Rudy. Man.
Picks him up at the 3-point line. Blocked the shot. Hello. Hello, Swat Lake City. Joe for 3 on the other end. Knocks home the 3-ball. I had a double take it, but it's 29% from the floor by the Cavs in half number 1.
Yeah, you know, I would be surprised if those numbers weren't the way they are.
Working with Rudy, rolls to the rim. They go back outside Royce from 3. Now here's Mike, one-on-one. Takes a deep one. Got it. Just beat the clock. Oh, Mike.
He wouldn't have had an opportunity to.
Sexton, 11 points on 10 shots. Conley, the floater. Oh, right on the rim. Rudy just kind of twisted. Little corkscrew drop for 2. 11 for Darius Garland and 11 for Sexton. Goaltend kicks his way inside, grabs the miss. Out front, Conley. He'll take a deep 3. Buries it. Conley has had a Niang back to Conley. He takes the lefty 3 and hits. And T, I'm sure Quinn Snyder is going to get some of the young players opportunities in the 4th quarter, but there's not much bench left for the Cavaliers as Niang drills it.
Glad you're with us wherever you may be. Grizzlies basketball on Bally Sports. Conley, floater, up and in.
Opportunities to even contest those lob attempts.
Morant driving, pickpocketed by Conley, who's top 20 in the league in steals. Bogdanovich tries the other side, and Bogdanovich is 3 for 3 from 3, and the Grizzlies need a timeout. Favors with a screen, pick and roll, and a pretty finish. It was pretty shocking. Thankfully, Jazz safe. And great job by the Delta Charter pilots. Oni hits a 3.
Tell you, this left corner, I think they are perfect.
Valanciunas into the game for the Grizzlies, looking for his first score. Conley behind the Gobert screen, fakes the pass on the pick and roll and finishes it himself. 4 for Conley. Trying to work against Mike Conley. 2 gone by here, 2nd quarter. Going one-on-one, Conley with a poke away. Picked up by Niang. A look ahead to Oni. Drop feed to an open Clarkson for 3. Bane averaging 10 a game in his 10 prior starts. Conley drives, scoops, scores. Mike Conley, and the Grizzlies will take another timeout. Under 4 remaining in the first half. Conley weaving and hitting. Mike Conley, 8 for him to go along with a couple of assists.
And the paint points get harder with Gobert being in the game.
Conley hits the 3. Decently with points off turnovers. They've scored 11 with that last basket off of Utah miscues. Conley with a floater. So he has to come out. D'Anthony Melton returning. Bogdanovich for three. Bogdanovich, his fourth triple in 7 tries. We hit the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter. Grizzlies have never led. And a lob for Favors off the setup by Mike Conley, his 4th assist of the game. Morant, that was knocked away from behind by Conley. Brooks, Melton, Tillman, Jones, and Tilly for the Grizzlies. Gobert, Conley, Clarkson, Niang, and Oni. This is Niang's 3, and he puts it in. George Niang, 40% from beyond the... Jazz haven't played a lot of close games. Conley with the teardrop, 15 for Conley. Grizzlies 4 of 14 from beyond the arc for 28.5%. Conley from the corner with the 3. Big time make by Mike Conley. Blood, sweat, and tears and long hours going into the transition to this Bally Sports look, and they have worked some long and hard hours as Ingles takes it to the rack and finishes. And so Ingles is back. Dillon lays it up and misses.
He was just going a little bit too fast, couldn't get himself under control.
And then Bogdanovich hits the 3, and for the second time in short order, a 5-point swing.
One corner 3, Bogdanovich, that corner 3.
Conley, good anticipation with a knockaway. Throws it back, and Gobert, and then taken away by Dillon Brooks, and a foul on Gobert. Conley corkscrews and hits with the left.
For the Utah Jazz on the road in Memphis, trying to win their 7th consecutive. Conley
Nice.
right back at you.
Conley around the Gobert screen as Bane on his back and hits the fadeaway. Mike Conley has been the money man tonight for the Utah Jazz.
Conley, high pick and roll. Rudy just runs it home. A 2-hand flush.
Satoransky sticking with Conley. Vucevic back on Gobert, who bullies him inside. Man. Wow.
Yeah, that is terrific. And the team has really come together for Joe and the family. Renee and Clarkson buries his first 3. And what do you know? Levine has hit 3 of his first 5 shots. As Conley runs the show, 7, pocket pass, up it goes and in. What a great touch by Clarkson. Grabs it between his legs, restarts, stumbles, no call. Conley takes the shot, up and in. Conley has a knack of hitting 3s with a short shot clock.
Bulls 1 of 10 from 3.
Sato has that lone make tonight. Conley hits another one. They're plus 18 from the 3-point strike.
Well, 7 of 16 for 44%.
Tipped away and out of bounds by Mitchell.
Young missed an easy shot as Boyan hit the floor, and Conley trots into front court. He'll stop and go drive against Levine. Double team, tough shot. Oh my, he got it. How did Conley get that shot away?
Good defenders don't get screened. Gobert's got to anticipate that screen coming on him.
Oh, beautiful pass, the layup, the assist. Give credit to Royce O'Neal with a spot-on pass, and Mike finishes. Oh, beautiful high lob pass. Rudy double pumps, he's fouled, puts up the shot, and scores it. Looks back down at his left hand. Here's Joe, jumps out, gives it back to Mike behind the three-point line. Between the legs, fires it away, straight away. Conley, big time shot. Levine passes out, Vucevic. Valentine tied up. Nice. Stolen by Conley. 4 steals, remember, in Memphis for Mike a couple of nights back.
Wide right. Mavs have opened the game, missing their first 3 shot attempts.
This is a playoff atmosphere tonight. Conley Jr. knocks down the 3-pointer. The presence of Gobert, three block shots a game for him.
Open lane to drive, Mike Conley. Dallas took their first lead at 8-7, but Conley seesaws Utah back in front.
Takes him absolutely 0 time to show that he's ready to rock and roll. Jalen's been huge.
Clarkson with a nice backdoor cut that time.
You feel like with KP being out again, Luka needs to have a really big night offensively, and he knows it.
9 points so far. A 3 by Luka is matched on a 3 by Mike Conley. The lead is 7 for Dallas, 27-20. Gobert screens for Conley. Conley in the paint.
Clever.
That was smooth.
Yeah, that was very smooth. He likes to go to that right hand, too.
Utah walking it up. They could not force the issue and come away with a 2-for-1. There just simply wasn't enough time for that. Conley drains another 3, and he is rising to the moment in the first quarter tonight.
He comes right back and picks up where he was. He has been beautiful off the bench for the Mavs this year.
Going back to Gobert after the exchange with Conley. Gobert with the alley-oop slam. Bogdanovich went down. Luka's down. Tried to tip it over to Finney-Smith. Picked up by Conley. Conley waiting for some support. A trailing Donovan Mitchell. Steps into a 3 and missed it. Conley and Gobert run the pick and roll, and it results in that. Mitchell again.
There are 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the Mavs have held the Jazz to 60 so far.
Up by 13. There's Conley, though, by far the best player on the floor tonight for Utah. Into Gobert, wants to hand it off back to Conley. Conley lobbing, Gobert finishing.
I don't remember him getting one up in the third, Hart, but as soon as he caught it, he was ready to let it fly.
He's ready to let it go, that's for sure.
3 for 3, Niang.
As the Jazz desperately try to get it under 10.
Yeah, Utah keeps scoring, but the Mavs keep answering. Now Ingles makes his first 3 of the.
They're making the Jazz pay for putting Rudy on him so he could float and block shots.
Conley for 3. Man, Utah is sizzling in the fourth quarter, but they ain't getting stops against the Mavs.
Utah's not really playing too urgent right now.
Utah can't score right now.
That's one of their best options to do it.
Yeah.
Conley and Bogdanovich have been their 2 best scorers in the game.
It really made a difference.
Booker had 4 points. We mentioned 1 for 6 from the floor and 0 for 2 from three-point land as Conley scores with the right hand.
Suns have really harassed Conley tonight. 1 of 9 from the field in his 19 minutes. Feeds it up top. Gobert finishes it off.
That's a great job of leading. Now it's up to the guys to go out and respond.
They had a big lead against Houston the other night. A lot of the guys. Mike Conley's had a rough game, just 1 for 10, but takes a great pass there. Gobert with the stuff and a foul. A 3-point chance for Rudy Gobert.
I'm sure he's fine, but you have to, as a team, as an organization, check on him and make sure he is.
Nice pass again by Conley, not scoring but doing other things. Finds a cutting favors. It's a 1-point game again. Here's Conley with 1, gets the shot off, and it drops for Mike Conley to give Utah the lead after 3.
Joe Ingles thought he had him. Oh, Joe, don't reach now.
Lob up top, DA unable to hang on to that one.
Joe Ingles was holding his other arm. I think he only jumped with 1 hand.
No good on the 3. Gobert fighting to get the offensive rebound, though. Looks to be okay after taking that hard face-first fall earlier in the quarter. Conley from downtown, his first triple of the game. Suns lead by 5. Plenty of time, though, for the potent Utah Jazz, and they cut it to 3 just like that as they let Conley go right to the rim for the easy layup. Jazz has 1 timeout left, Phoenix with 2. Conley backdoor gets the easy layup. Great call out of the timeout. It's a 2-point game.
Now, the 3-point shot is going to be important for both teams. Both these guys shoot a lot of threes, and they make a lot of threes.
There's Conley in the paint searching. That's his patented shot, just to push it. Eagle slips and slides inside, back out front. Miaoni will get minutes tonight with Clarkson's absence. Here's Conley behind the 3, drills it. Mike Conley, 1 of 7 last night against the Suns.
That's going to be their go-to, whether it's McCollum or Lillard, and they're going to put Nurkic in it, which means Gobert's got to be up at the point of attack.
Oh, beautiful. You know what? Down in Orlando, Donovan, Royce O'Neal, he paused. He's lost a bit of confidence from that 3-point shot.
No, that's Jazz basketball.
Big bucket.
Dictating this Utah defense in this game so far. Conley pure three from up top. Jazz pull back within one.
No margin of error at all.
Barnes, he airballs a three. Conley takes the loose ball, brings it quickly into front court, showing the speed and on the rim. Beautiful pass. Conley finds Gobert.
But the plus side of that is you got to learn how to win in different ways, right? And the Jazz are figuring that out right now.
Conley leans into one and throws it down. Finally.
Somebody goes over Rudy's back there. He's late getting down the court, but Mike Conley says, I got you.
Splash it home, Mike. We're tied at 31. Conley dances, spins off the Niang, fires up the three. Got it. George Niang.
Yeah, that was a fortuitous bounce. A nice soft touch. Buddy Hield finding that space again in that mid-range area.
Conley got into the paint. Oh, he's there again off the tap out by Gobert.
Just know that Sacramento's expectation is just to stay close, right? They want an opportunity to try to win this thing.
Conley off the wing. They were big against Portland and a must tonight. He's going to back out behind the three. Short shot clock. Here's Royce on a dribble drive inside. Oh, hammers it. Space open, and O'Neal saw it and took it right on top of the rim. And so the way he plays, it goes really to his advantage, I think, because he doesn't take a lot of contact as Conley dishes up a three ball. Halliburton baseline. Nowhere to go. Through the hands of Holmes. Oney's got to hurry. Half court heave. And he hit glass.
And it really is Donovan Mitchell time as we know it.
Engel stays on the court. Niang hits the three. Joe wants everyone back quickly on defense. Fires a pass out to Conley. Shot clock at 7. Mike, left-hand dribble drive. Up it goes. Soft touch. Oh, caught the rim and drops. Big bucket for Mike. 37 and 40. Stolen by Mitchell. Pass out, Conley, three ball up, bang! Big bucket off the hand of Mike. Donovan fakes, now drives. Inside out to Mike. He'll take that three. Just beat the clock. And Conley and Mitchell. See a young player crashing the board for the bucket off the offensive rebound. Roby scores his first two. The Jazz come right back in Niang. Gobert, beautifully done, taps it out, another possession. Conley flies up off the glass and in.
Nice. Needed a bucket to go down. Conley pump fakes his three. Did everything but finish. As Niang, another three. Getting his first start of the season. You know, Utah's going to want to make an indent here with the first quarter winding down, and Niang starting to match Lou Dort from behind the three-point line. He's got his fourth. So the question is, can OKC keep this up? And two, can the Jazz get some more energy? Because right now, and their offense, and that's going to help, but their offense, 37% shooting so far.
Can't finish. Gobert clears. Here comes Conley into front court. Mike straightaway three. Bang.
Big shot. All right, now the Jazz are starting to get rhythm.
Man, I'm surprised of the three-point accuracy by the Thunder. 55% on 6 of 11.
Yeah,
they're going to give him a 2 on that bucket.
Right, and the Thunder shoot about 45% on the game. So you think that might come down, but Conley.
Rudy comes out to screen for Conley. Inside goes Rudy. Beautiful move. Gobert scores his first 2 on his first shot of the night.
Good hands.
Somehow Conley was able to stay in bounds. He just picked his pocket. Out front, Conley. Take that 3. No. Bogey will set a screen. Here's Mike. Now he'll fire deep. The lefty splash it home.
He's got such a good rhythm shot right now. 41%. Good sign.
He makes that switch many times at the half. Conley out on the wing. Fires it to Rudy. Up and down.
Nice.
Beautiful pass. Conley good for about 5.5 assists a game. Donovan fires up a 3. How about that exchange? And his first bucket here in the third. Conley on a lob up top. Gobert over the back of Brown.
Much more aggressive here. He had 2 shots in the first half, 2 here in the third quarter, 2 dunks.
Jazz force another turnover. Pass it out. Bogey like a practice. Ty Jerome. 11 points. He's knocked down 3 threes. Bogey on a drive and one.
He looks quick.
Gobert with 10 rebounds, 8 points. Thomas deep, nailed it.
There he is.
Nailed it.
Well, you just can't challenge him. When he's sitting under that basket, he's all set up and waiting for you.
As Niang doing what he did in the first quarter.
Quick hands, Conley stayed with it. Took it away from Jerome.
I like it, Gobert.
Conley in the paint. Tough shot. Tough shot. 15 for Conley goes back to work. Lob it, put it down. Rudy. Double-double for Gobert with 10 points now. Conley goes to work. Out it goes. Brantley catch and shoot. Good look. Oh, the bounce and the 3 ball by Brantley. How about 10 man off the. Conley takes off once Rudy found him.
Ooh, that's a good look.
Yeah, it'll be important for Donovan, too, to make his mark along with the guy with the ball.
Oh, how about the pass? Conley's just been red hot lately, coming off his first career double-double. He wants the 3, the catch and shoot, up and in. Keep it going, minivan.
He and LeVert really are going to carry that scoring shoulder.
You know, and Teague getting back to the slow starts by the Jazz is Clarkson. Looks good on that ankle, runs it up and hangs on the rim for 2. I told the boss I was at work. I'm not sure that's the case as he's got his feet up watching Jazz basketball. Conley, the look off, the floater, caught the rim and in.
You know, that fake gets him every time. He may have learned that from Joe Ingles.
Closed hot, hitting 12 of their last 20. That's 60%.
Yeah, that's really the difference in the game. You know, Jazz need to get back on defense, take care of the ball as Jordan Clarkson.
Conley, stop and go. Keeps a dribble alive in traffic, try to bounce it in and does. Conley with 5.5. With, by the way, D Wade on hand today. There's a nice lob. Gobert put it down from Conley. Yeah, in a word, stay close. First foul on Sabonis. Here's Donovan, catch and shoot 3 off the wing. Got it. Mitchell, a quick 5. Once again, they trimmed it to single digits, 69-60. Good hands, quick hands by Mike Conley. Royce goes under the screen of Sabonis. They feed inside. Ball's loose. Picked up by Holiday. Another turnover. Another stop. Across the timeline to Conley. Step back for 3. Looks good is. Conley's going to have to carry a heavy load. 79-70. You just joined us. The Jazz led early by 5. Well, they rallied back to win by 5, but trailed by 17 as Gobert. Pick and roll.
Yeah, good defense too. But that was another $50 donation to the Utah Food Bank. Making a difference. It's built for a crowd. As both.
That's what you call caught in no man's land. Aaron Holiday had no place to go. Niang open 3. Splash it. Niang. It's a 3-point play for LeVert. And now the Jazz go back to work. A lob up top. Conley's been magnificent.
Yeah.
Not having Rudy Gobert Saturday and having him tonight, what do you see when you watch Gobert as to the level of his importance with his team on both ends of the floor as O'Neal hits a 3 to start the game? Conley off the Gobert screen. There's what you're talking about, right? A little bit of airspace thanks to the screen from Gobert, and it's 8-0 Jazz. An all-star this year for the 2nd straight year. In the running for Defensive Player of the Year, which would be his 3rd if he's able to win it, as Bogdanovich drills a 3.
The Lakers, it's Anthony Davis, LeBron James, get healthy. It does not matter which seed we're at. We need to be at 100%. When you're talking about the Utah Jazz, it's about making sure guys are healthy, but I wouldn't rest guys.
When you start to talk about whether we want to rest guys going into the playoffs, knowing that the schedule's more condensed this year.
To me, they're in a different they have a different mentality than the Lakers. We need to be at 100%. When you're talking about the Utah Jazz, it's about making sure guys are healthy, but I wouldn't rest guys. We're going to continue to keep our foot on the gas pedal because the message has got to be we haven't accomplished anything yet.
Went at the end of the first round, traded by Brooklyn after the Nets drafted him. Clarkson with 1 on the timer knocks down the 3. Scored the last 7 points for Utah.
Similar to Steph Curry, that's something that they're going to have to deal with the rest of the way when they take falls like that because of the bruise and the effect of the injury, the initial injury. The future's awfully bright with the talent that he has, and he's only getting better.
He only played in 6 games last year as Niang kisses it in.
There you go, man.
Context.
We don't need that.
Love that. Here's O'Neal hitting a 3, the 7-3 ball for Utah, and the Jazz with a 12-point lead. And Kuzma now in double figures with 11 points.
That's a great job by Kuzma running the lane.
How about the feathery touch there of Gobert?
A stellar franchise with the Lakers. So he signed a deal, and he wants to continue to win and compete.
Right, he got that 3-year, $40 million extension. Conley had the defense in no man's land.
Historically rebound in this league. He's got to rebound the basketball. He's got to protect the paint. And then when called upon, give some scoring. And then there's going to be some times where he has to understand, because of the versatility of Anthony Davis.
Drummond just 3 for 11 from the floor after that miss. 12-point Utah lead. 4 minutes gone by, third quarter. Ingles takes it all the way to the goal. Scoop shot rolls in. Young stars in the NBA.
He is absolutely special. Absolutely special. And has it. Whatever it is, he has
it. Conley scores, and a foul just like that when the Lakers get within striking distance. Utah elite again offensively.
Tell you another heck of a job too is that young man Mike Conley. Has 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and he leans back, and he's revitalized his career. And Christian gets the rebound.
Shoot it.
Yeah.
Armani, you're in the starting lineup. Let it fly. Don't hesitate.
He's a youngster. He's trying to do the right thing, play the right way. Olynyk has been just better than advertised since coming over in that deal at Miami, and there's Gobert taking it down low. Tate had no chance. Been getting back on both good legs. 3-pointer. Mike Conley on your team, and he'll be ready to go.
And he'll be critical for them if they're going to make a deep run in the playoffs or perhaps contend for a championship.
Conley had to get that off in a hurry. With KJ tipped it in the air. Bradley playing good defense on Clarkson, and he gets it up and in. Wow, what a shot.
Yeah.
I can't wait. When's it going to happen?
Yep. Got him once already earlier this year. Let's get him again. There it is.
Olynyk went for the fake. Mike Conley steps back. Gets it right back again. Back out to Niang, who fires it up and in.
You know, it's probably that one game that bothers folks. But that 33, that's impressive. Says a lot about the Jazz.
Clarkson
gets it back out to Conley again. Conley is one of the smartest players in the league, which means he's going to take Olynyk. And look at the switch from the left hand to the right. Of course, O'Neal gets it up ahead. Back into the corner. Conley sets up Bogdanovich again. How'd he get so open? Oh, good pickup by Kelly Olynyk. And Gobert with the offensive rebound. It's in that paint a long time. Bogdanovich from the outside, in and out and in again. O'Neal comes around to get it. Conley, quick move. Gobert with the almost slam.
They're a top 4 team in both offense and defense. There's another example.
Well, Conley almost stole the last one. A beautiful play to get O'Neal on the board. That's the first basket of the game. Conley, almost a steal by Armani, taking it into Oni for 2. That's a pretty athletic move right there. I won't mention it anymore. Boy, how quick is that shot? Unbelievable. Jordan Clarkson.
Well, Jordan Clarkson's so vital to this team's long-term success because that 6-man. I mean, I played 6-man most of my career, and I know how important it is to be able to come in and just make an impact on the game on both ends.
Got a chance to get their first championship this year.
I saw some people pick the Suns as Gobert playing volleyball now.
Minnesota will put up the 3-point shot. 37 attempts on average. They'll hit only 13. Rebound Gobert, here's Mike, quickly, the cutter, bogey left hand.
You talk about Mike Conley's senses.
Of Okogie.
We saw a lot of those trick shots go in when he was here. We know he can make them. And he can make those. In the last 5 games, about 24 minutes, about 12 shots a game, and expect those to go up.
Bogey, nice job. He let Towns just fly by, patient, put it up and in. Quinn called him one of the best bigs to take it outside, and you can't argue with those numbers. Here's Bogey on the wing, take it. Yeah, he'll fire up the 3 and bangs it in.
And now he's just playing tremendous basketball.
Conley, Rubio, dishes off to O'Neal. He's already hit a 3, make it 2. Oh, it's good to see. Smartly hands it off to Mike. Ingles winds up, 3, got it.
Why not?
Joe Ingles and the Jazz right now on fire. Here's Conley, baseline stop and go. Backs it out behind the 3. He's got a wide open look. And Conley with 8 in the quarter.
By either of these teams, the Jazz know they've got their work cut out for them with a team like the Wolves.
Conley dials up 3. Up Rubio on the hip of Joe Ingles. He goes to his right hand. Conley lets the traffic fly by. Just got the shot away. And Conley hits deep. You know, T, just because you don't play on the same team doesn't break a friendship, right?
No, those relationships, those bonds are way past just being teammates.
Conley back to work inside. They triple team him. Shot up, bank it. Mike, 15 plus a free throw coming.
Got 3 in a row, and somehow Nas wins it. Wow. Unbelievable.
Russell.
Unreal.
You don't see that happen very often on those kind of exchanges for the Jazz.
Jazz get it right back with Conley. Rudy sets a high screen. Mike will use it for space, splits it. Off it goes to Bogey, steps to his right, flick of a wrist, bang! And the Jazz down 2.
With a big block, Rudy.
It's all about stops. Under 2 minutes left. Towns against Bogdanovich. Tapped out. Nice job. Quick hands. Mike Conley forces a turnover. He wants a screen. He got it. Conley stays on his hip. Rudy's there to help. They dump it down in the paint. Stolen by Mike. Picked up by Boyan. 30 seconds left to play.
In Salt Lake on Saturday, but he was so good with his length. That was the thing Quinn Snyder talked about before the game tonight, Jim, as it was how the Timberwolves, their length and how disruptive they can be.
Keep it above his head and still shoot it from outside the arc.
Leads the league in three-point percentage on the season. Okogie over the shoulder. Rubio to Towns. Cat.
That's going to be number 2 on Towns clearing out on Bogdanovich. Points off turnovers. When you look at their game log and you sort for points off turnovers, Dave, they're 5 and 6 in games where they have 23 points or more.
The win on Saturday was one of only 2 comeback wins when they've dug themselves this big of an early hole. Ilyasova gets it away as the clock expires, and no question it was out of his hand on time. Wolves have their biggest lead of the game.
And all of a sudden, D'Lo's got 15.
Conley trying to get into the paint does. That's a tough finish by Conley.
This is what D'Angelo Russell can do.
Conley for Gobert, reverse dunk, 0.9.
Ricky Rubio is 0 for 4 in the game, and he has not scored yet.
And they get an easy bucket, does Utah, to start this third quarter. Tell you what, Jim, the way this Timberwolves team has been playing, fans are going to be a lot prouder rocking that new merch, knowing the future is looking awfully bright for this franchise. Conley dumps it off for Gobert.
Is Ricky traveling? I mean, like, Rudy's just completely walking with the basketball.
Conley draws the foul, and one from Mike Conley as the Jazz go back in front.
Ball jumps out, gonna have to hurry. Conley pulls up,
nice shot.
Oh, just banked it off the glass.
In this third quarter without picking one up.
He got really lucky at the end of the second quarter that he got a strip, that he wasn't called for a foul. It wasn't a foul, it was a clean play as Conley makes the 3.
Second quarter, 23 points for the Jazz. In the third, Niang fires up a 3. It's been the story of this game.
There it is.
Finally, on his second attempt from downtown.
Timberwolves have 44 bench points. Clarkson.
And Minnesota just running guys off their line left and right.
Conley with the floater on the baseline.
It's too bad because he was making great plays out there, hustle plays. But Karl-Anthony Towns comes back in. This lead is tenuous now with Utah making a push. There's D'Angelo. Mike Conley is one of their best players in clutch time.
Conley for Niang, who's got 4 threes in the quarter. Conley, little floater, and no, it wasn't a floater, it was an assist to Gobert. Conley looking for the lead, drills the 3 with 5.9, and Utah goes back in front.
And there is a screen from Rudy Gobert, set it up for Conley. Close out on Ingles. His three-point shot, like he's been doing all season long, goes in.
This is still a strong talent level to this team. With Mike Conley coming back, Gobert so dominant in the middle, and once again, you know, this team plays off of the 3 ball.
And Conley, the veteran, trying to match up on Maladone. Used not 1 but 2 screens to get into that mid-range. Instead of going inside, it's Conley from outside.
He takes most of his shots around the basket because he stays in his lane. He knows exactly where that lane is in the Utah Jazz offense.
Gobert at 67% from the field. Here's Bogdanovic pulling from deep. Got it.
Yeah, this is what they do. They fall into a.
Well, it's about stops, which the Jazz just got, but now it's about scoring on the other end.
Conley rides it out to Clarkson on a nice drive into the lane, and Clarkson right now is dialed up and in. Only the second three-pointer in this quarter. 2 of 6 from downtown. Mie Oni on a catch-and-shoot 3.
Yes, sir.
How about that? Oni, 33% on the year.
Catch and shoot 3 for Clarkson. Where have you heard that before? And knocks down another one.
Yikes.
Close out this period strongly after playing so well for most of it. And as I say that, Guy turns it over, their second turnover in the last couple of possessions. Niang on the drive, a little bully ball strongly after playing so well for most of it. And as I say that, Guy turns it over, their second turnover in the last couple of possessions. Niang on the drive, a little bully ball, scores the bucket, and Utah storms back.
Come strong or don't come at all.
That snaps the 15-0 run by the Jazz. Here's Conley around the Gobert screen and drills the 3-point.
Bro, he's going to tell you 49ers, and the Raiders are actually in Vegas now.
Okay.
But the Raider Nation is deep. Raider Nation is deep.
I didn't want to get anybody upset at me. Guy guarding Conley. Boy, Michael Conley is back to being Michael Conley this year.
Yeah, the guy who comes off the pick and roll, which was Buddy, is going to be open to shoot a nice little jump shot right there.
Keeping him honest, boy. Michael Conley came out shooting the basketball extremely well here tonight. Nice pocket pass by Conley, and Rudy Gobert finishes. Man, Doug, did you see how much ground he covered?
he was a big man.
Yeah. Conley off the screen, stretches it out. Got that float game with the right hand. 13-point Jazz lead. Wright lost it to Conley. They got a lot of time, about 7 seconds here. Really a great moment. And the pass.
Oh, how about, I was going to say the quarterback. Don't forget about the QB.
QB1, De'Aaron Fox. With that length of the court inbound pass to the sideline, which was right on target.
I was going to say the quarterback. Don't forget about the QB.
QB1, De'Aaron Fox. With that length of the court inbound pass to the sideline, which was right on target. Speaking of on target, I don't know about all that, but Woodard's muscles got muscles. I mean, he went down like a ton of bricks. Here's Clarkson firing. How many times have we heard that popular refrain tonight? Clarkson firing, connecting.
And Dylan Brooks gets it to go as he slashes for 2. They go inside. That outside shot will fall. This is Mike Conley, the former Memphis Grizzly player. Morant is on him. He'll slash shifting gears and put it in for two. A lot of good shooting to start this one. In the playoffs for a 5th consecutive season, the Utah Jazz. #1 in the West, #1 record in the NBA, and Conley with a beautiful floater. And they go to Conley, who's got 7 early points for the Jazz. And Clarkson will shimmy his way for 2 with a nice move. Here comes Morant. Gets by Oni and outside. Jaren Jackson back in the corner. That shot deflected. It was taken outside by DeAnthony Melton. 1-point Utah lead. 8 lead changes so far in this one. Dancing with the Gobert screen and a pick and roll, and inside the great feed from Conley and Gobert. Terrific home record. Conley will pierce the lane. In Gobert. Got it for 2, and Gobert has put in 5. Mike Conley, 9 points and 4 assists in that first quarter. Here we start the second. #1 seed Utah. #8 seed Memphis, having to win 2 playoff games to get here. Play-in games to get to this point.
10 turnovers for 7 Grizzly points. What a pass.
What a pass indeed. Great cut inside, and Conley got it, and he puts it up and in. That 3 right there. Brooks, a 26-footer. Bane gets the assist. Memphis has come back from 14 down. Ingles 3, cans it from outside.
Dylan Brooks.
He had 24 against San Antonio Wednesday. He had 14 against Golden State Friday. Ingles 3.
And this is a bench that was pretty good throughout the regular season.
Niang is in again. Clarkson favors Conley O'Neal, the 5 for Utah. Here comes Favors, who will flush it on the fly. Clarkson, with the hesitation, works on Allen and back outside to Conley. Niang, he'll uncork a 3. Difference of 5 seconds. Game clock to shot clock. Conley is there, looking for the screen roll. Nice fake, driving. Oh, and Clarkson will crowbar it in. What a play.
That's kind of how we started that overtime period versus the Warriors in that play-in game.
They've gone 6 of 7 from 3 after starting 0 of 9. Oh, Gobert. Here they go, swarming guys up front. That's a shot by Conley, which is right down the hatch.
What a fun team to watch.
Conley's open. He'll set and fire the 3.
It's got to happen on this end of the floor for the Grizzlies. Have to stop the 3s.
Bogdanovich drives, banks it in. Bogdanovich was 7 in the period, and the Grizzlies.
Kane Fitzgerald in his 45th playoff game. James Williams and J.B. DeRosa in his first NBA playoff game. Plugging in for 2 is Mike Conley. On the wing, Conley played 12 years for Memphis. 7 of them in the playoffs. Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell with a 3. Looking to the screen roll of Gobert. Instead, he kicks it outside. A 3 by Joe Ingles. Tonight he plays, and he's already been heard from with 12. Looking great and very sharp. 3, Conley. Mike Conley puts it in from outside.
I'm not sure that it wasn't another block there by Gobert.
Conley will slither. Hold on! Here he comes, Gobert. Another great pass by Mike Conley. For the youngest team in the playoffs, the Memphis Grizzlies, with Conley on top. And Clarkson with a 3. Grayson Allen is in. He'll watch Conley take it down the lane with ease. He puts it up and in, gliding for 2.
8 points for Anderson. Bogey puts it down on the floor. Step back, long 2. Bang.
Jaren Jackson can't guard him.
Burrowing in that time, Mitchell. Conley a triple. They got 13 of them. Mitchell trying to hatchet his way inside. There's Valanciunas. Conley, hold on for Gobert. Conley has just assisted for a 6th time tonight.
Their young superstar in John Morant.
Here's Conley. Favors in stride. Conley fed him well, and Favors comes up with a flush. They have so many ball handlers, don't they? They can go off the screen roll. Like Ingles. Nice fake there by Conley. Look at him chip his way in.
Good news is Mitchell's only played 20 minutes so far tonight, so he should have most of this quarter to play.
Beautiful pass, Conley.
Gobert, attitude, two-hand slam.
And that is how you finish, big fella.
Conley and Morant on top. Gobert the screen. There's a bit of a switch, and here comes Conley. Finding Gobert again. That screen roll thing will not die. And then this young Memphis team not blinking and got back in this one in the blink of an eye. Nice floater on the fly that time by Conley with 14. And heading to the locker. Whether he stays there, we'll find out.
He's looked good, too.
And again, we are not there. Mitchell, or rather Conley outside with a three. It's picked up by Clarkson. Niang, another triple try. Got it. In a career year for the... In fact, in the G League, he coached with Quinn Snyder and also at Atlanta on that staff. Here's Conley diving in. Well, they counted. Pretty shot. Conley's been terrific.
He told Gobert he was going to come back and see him after he blocked his shot in that first half.
Royce O'Neal three.
Nursing a sore ankle.
Conley around screens. Gobert will get it. Screen roll again. It is so precise. Brooks with two and Valanciunas with two early in the game. His two starters. Into Gobert. There he is again with the pass coming from Conley. His 13th assist. Conley. O'Neal a triple.
Why not?
They are plus 33 points. 21 Gobert with 13 boards. Mitchell with 25 on the bench and finished. Royce O'Neal.
Former number 4 overall pick back in 2018 who missed a year due to knee injury in the bubble last summer. Conley, his second three, and an early timeout by Utah.
The second youngest team in the league. Main thing for them is to settle down right now, but you're going to have to guard and play good defense.
There's Conley, the former Grizzly.
Losing to Denver last year in 7 as a 6 seed 2 years ago. They lost to Houston 4-1 as a 5 seed. Conley lobs for Gobert.
12-point Jazz lead. Here in game 3, early second quarter, the series tied at 1. Conley flips it up to Gobert, who puts it in.
Now the two guards are in double figures right now. They just need help up front.
Conley's three. It's good.
Boy.
Mike Conley with his 4th three of the first half.
Because you're one of the top offensive rebounding teams in the league, you got to show it to us in the second half here.
Our first half stats brought to you by Bacardi. Mike Conley with his 5th three-pointer
in the low post in this game.
Conley strikes again with another three, his 6th triple. All of his baskets have come from behind the arc.
Look, Conley's having a very tough year. He's missed 21 games. Mitchell missed 19. Whoa,
wow,
look at
Mitchell.
This. Well, here they come, and here comes the crowd.
Bogdanovich falling back, hits against Morant. Right now it's a 6-point lead. Bogdanovich has the hot hand, and he buries another one. 15 threes now for Utah.
Remember, in the 2 games, 22 points in one game, 20 in the other in the paint from Morant. Oh,
wow,
boy.
Conley splashes home his 7th three-pointer.
Hey, give him all the credit. Under pressure, he's now 1 for 5 in the game. That was a big shot.
Conley, Conley falling away, moving to his left.
Conley lobs for Gobert.
Mitchell got Allen off his feet, puts it on the deck, goes at Valanciunas, counted at 1. What a shot by Mitchell, who's still down. Throws it to Mitchell, and Utah looking to run with Morant trailing. They've got a 5-on-4. Conley with the dump down to Gobert, fouled and counted.
And I like that attack early in the shot clock, not allowing Gobert to have as much of an impact in the paint.
Bogdanovich on a triple. What a game he played in game 3 the other night for Utah. Bogdanovich, the driving kick. This is Conley on his first take, and he hit.
And it's really tough for a young player because he's still in the process of establishing who he is as a player, and Joe Ingles there. He's much more mobile than most people realize. And he's got a really high basketball IQ, which is so important. Like you think IQ, oftentimes people think off.
Here's Niang, the cross-court pass now into the corner. Clarkson, and he bangs down a three. What do the Grizzlies have to do here, aside from stopping that pick and roll?
Well, we talked about pick and roll. 10 made threes as well. I don't think you win this game if they make that 11.
Utah 41-4 in the regular season with a halftime lead. Valanciunas against Gobert. Conley with a knockaway picked up by Royce O'Neal.
That's Murray State, and the rest has been history. What a pass to Gobert! Is Jackson on a three? No. Jaren Jackson is now 2 of 8 from deep. This is Clarkson. That's a three.
Ball movement by Utah, not allowing the defense to load to the ball.
Conley, that's a three. And look at that shooting from the Jazz in the fourth. Morant. Conley picks his pocket.
And have good execution offensively.
Mike Conley, the longtime Grizzly who has been sensational in this series, bangs down a three.
Memphis still only down by 2, though, against a team that was 31-5 on their home floor. Good penetration, Bogdanovich. And Conley, he's killing his whole team, isn't he? The shot blocker who averages almost 3 blocks a game and second in the league in blocks.
Oh, yeah, Valanciunas. And his nickname's JV, but Joe, he was looking like varsity on that move.
Bogdanovich. Clarkson is a pick-me-up for everybody in that locker room, a chemistry guy.
I thought it was interesting that Quinn Snyder told us that he encourages Clarkson to take quick early threes early before the defense sets.
Yeah, Quinn Snyder was high on jaw, dominating style, and he's just getting started in this league. George Niang, minivan. That's 9.
Niang was 50th back in 2016 after an outstanding career. It'll count if it goes. Look out.
Why not? It's been that type of quarter, Joe.
Look out.
Mitchell stumbles with the dribble. Conley throws it up, and Faber is able to back it home. Shot clock at 8. Conley finds some room. Mike Conley answers with his first field goal. O'Neal fouled, shots good and 1, and the Jazz needed that desperately after falling behind by 10. Conley slipped a bit. Mitchell a three-pointer, and he answers.